What up, Kings? Hope you're well. In this video, I want to talk about how the dating market is going to affect the advertising business as well as programmatic. So we all know, unless you've been living under a rock or something, or you're completely ignorant, or maybe you're stuck in some weird echo chamber, the dating market is not looking so good, Kings. It's bad out here. It's terrible. See, I have so much perspective because I travel a lot now. I'm always in Africa. I look forward to going to East Asia at some point. But every time I come back here, man, I'm in Atlanta now. Every time I come back here, I'm like, whoa, this place is weird. I still love this place. But let me explain to you why I say it's weird. It seems to me that everybody's too busy for relationships. As a married guy, I completely get it. Because work is demanding, so many things are demanding. But as a marketer, it makes it so difficult for me to plan my campaigns. It makes it so difficult for me, because I cannot tell you how a certain audience segment is going to behave. It looks good on paper, but when you look at it in the real world, it doesn't look so good. When I'm in one of my bases over there in East Africa, I'm invited to at least 2 weddings a week. On a slow month, it's 1 wedding a week. But there's so many people getting married, so many people starting families. The average size of a family is like 5. So it'll be mom, dad, and 3 kids on average. And I think it's just part of the culture over there. But here I don't see the same thing. What I'm seeing is the wedding industry's collapsed. Recently I saw somebody posting up that diamonds are cheaper now, or cheaper than ever. And I understand why. The only people that are buying diamonds are rappers, because every rapper in Atlanta has got a diamond chain. So the behaviors of human beings has completely changed. Because what's happening in Atlanta is happening in every city in this country. Everybody's too busy for each other. I have to book appointments to see relatives here. That's how weird it is. When you leave America, you don't have to schedule an appointment for seeing your family members or relatives. You just show up and people are happy to see you. I tried to tell my relatives that they had to schedule an appointment. They just laughed in my face over there in Africa. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it's crazy. They just laughed in my face. They're like, whoa, what do you mean we got to schedule an appointment with you? And I said, listen, I'm sorry, but I'm really, really busy. Just please, like, let's meet each other halfway because I'm really busy. But they're not used to that because they're living real lives out there. And here, I don't see people living real lives. As the wedding industry is collapsing, the dating market has collapsed. How this is going to affect the advertising business and programmatic in general is in 2 parts. The first part is going to make it a nightmare for you to plan. So what your media plan looks like, it looks perfect. Once you execute that campaign, targeting all these amazing audience group, you're going to discover that your campaigns are not going to perform that well. It just means that audience segments are just behaving a little differently now, behaving a little weirdly. With this new administration that is coming in, they control the presidency, they control the Senate, they control the House. It means that whatever austerity measures they're going to put in place are going to go through so fast. They're going to be pushed through so fast with very little friction, since they control everything. It means that as marketers, we need to adjust to what's coming. When you look at the biggest spenders in the American economy, because it's a consumer economy, I just saw a recent report that car dealerships for new cars are struggling right now. That's a strong indication that the economy is in the dumpsters. Car dealerships never used to have problems selling brand new cars just 5 years ago. But now they're begging. They're begging somebody like me to buy a new car. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna stick with my hoopty. I got myself a 2014 and I'm keeping that hoopty. It runs fine. It gets me from A to B. It's paid off. All I gotta do is pay insurance. This is how men think. Men are not hyper consumers, but the biggest consumers are women. If majority of these women are getting laid off, DI is not a thing anymore, where are the consumers going to come from? It's pure logic. Eviction rates down here in Atlanta are atrocious. People are getting evicted left, right, and center. It's mass panic right now because people don't have the money. All that doom spending that's been happening for the last 4 years is running on fumes right now. I can't believe there are people that are buying groceries on credit cards. I understand people that use credit cards to build credit. Maybe they want to put things like groceries on their credit card. But to me, it's very weird. Do you understand how weird it is from somebody who's coming from a society that doesn't even deal with credit. Where I live now, if you need to own a home, you gotta start from the bottom. You gotta buy your land, you gotta build a foundation. It might take you 10 years to build up your house. So you just invest slowly. There's no mortgages over there. But it seems to me that America got drunk on credit. Even the government got drunk on credit. So all of that starts from the top. And everybody just copies like sheep. Or goats. By the way, goat meat is amazing. You need to come to Africa to try that goat meat. It's incredible. Or look for a local African restaurant that sells goat and oxtail. I got sidetracked. But yeah, it just seems like everybody copies each other. And human beings are very predictable, by the way. Very, very predictable. Because as a marketer, my job is to analyze trends, to connect the dots so that you guys can get the real information that you really need to run those campaigns the right way. So those campaigns can start converting. Because there's nothing worse than pitching that business to that brand, and you won that business as an agency. You promised them all these conversions, you promised them all of this amazing stuff, but once you activate those campaigns, it's a dud. Agencies are losing accounts every quarter now. That's something strange. I remember 15 years ago, once an agency signed on an account, they probably kept that account for at least 10 years. But now, especially with artificial intelligence, with AI automations, with all this competition on the marketplace, you're not gonna keep that account for longer than 3 months if you don't know what you're doing. There's so many hungry guys out here that know how to deliver good value to a lot of these brands. They're hungry out here. They're hungry like wolves. And they're gonna steal your lunch and your accounts. They might swipe your chick too. They might take your girl too. I'm not saying this to scare you. What I'm saying is that it's time to accept the reality of what it is. And here's the reality. This new economy, this new era that we're getting into, things are gonna be very tough. Things are already tough. Things are gonna be so tough that people are not gonna be spending unless they absolutely have to. I'm seeing repair businesses, they're booming right now. I had an issue with my Mac last week. The screen broke. I could afford a new one, but I love my Mac. The same way I love my 2014 Hyundai. You know, it's a hoopty. I love that thing. It's loyal to me. It's never broken down on me. You know, knock on wood. Even though we have the money, we're not gonna just spend it like that. But the other demographic that is the biggest spenders, they're going broke right now. They don't have the money like that because a lot of them were relying on things like alimony, child support, handouts from simps. But the simp economy has crashed already. You don't believe me? Go to TikTok. They're all complaining over there. They're snitching. Atlanta is the entertainment capital of the United States after Las Vegas when it comes to, let us say, the ladies that like to show off their goodies. There's a gentleman's club everywhere here in Atlanta. When you start seeing these ladies of the night complaining that they're not making money, just know things are bad out here. The ladies of the night are usually the first ones to pick up on things that are happening on the ground. That's why rappers like to go to gentlemen's club to promote their music down here. Because they know once that crowd accepts their music, the rest of the country is going to accept it. We can call them the early adopters, okay? So I seriously think that the austerity measures that are going to start from the federal government are just going to trickle down to the rest of the economy, to the rest of the population. And men are just going to follow along. There's no more spending money on girls. When you talk to young men between the ages of 21 to, let's say, 35, they're not spending money on women. They're not buying drinks. We've had so many decades of being told that we're equal. So all these young men have listened. They paid attention. So ultimately, all the advertisers are going to have to adjust. I hope you got some value from this video. If you're interested in working with the best, if you understand everything I just told you about how everything is shifting, you might not see it, but guess what? I travel a lot. So I've got a lot of perspective. I see things all the time that you don't see. If you're ready to activate your programmatic campaigns for your brand, if you understand AI and what it's capable of, that's what we do. We use AI to automate our process for creative, video creative, display creative. We use AI for all of that. So we move at lightning speed. Our competitors cannot catch up. They can't even cope with the pressure that we're dropping on them. If you're ready to work with the best, I say schedule time immediately. Link in the description of this video to my calendar. Talk to you soon.